Hello. Today we will be talking about the unethical practices in Amazon. And today I'll be talking about how unethical Amazon's one-day delivery is, and more specifically, how it is physically impacting their workers. So for a little backstory, during the COVID-19 pandemic at the peak, many people started to order more frequently using Amazon since it was the safest and most convenient way to shop at the time during all the lockdowns and stuff. And Amazon has a feature that allows customers to get their orders delivered to them the next day, and sometimes even on the same day. So that's called next day delivery and same day delivery. With same day and one day delivery being as hard as it is to uh, achieve, having a massive influx of orders due to the pandemic makes achieving these delivery dates way harder and puts a lot of pressure on the workers and drivers. This is highly unethical because it's very physically taxing on the daily lives of the workers, and 42% of Amazon employees reported that they are suffering from physical pains because of the intense work that they are under, and the pain that they're typically feeling is located in the lower backs as well as their feet. So those are like two really big parts that take a really big toll, and those are parts that are just really needed for manual labor such as working at Amazon. Employees express that they do not believe that the workload is reasonable, and it does not give them enough time to finish their work on time, as well as have their breaks, lunch, and etc. It is unethical for workers to be working for such uh, long hours, performing strenuous activities, and not being able to receive a break. Within the past 8 years, there have been over 100 incidents involving Amazon delivery drivers. This could possibly be because of the stress that the drivers are under, because there is the expectation for them to make the delivery, as well as the hundreds of packages that they need to deliver.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about Amazon's impact on its workers' mental health due to its unethical practices for the one-day delivery. So the first thing I would like to just bring up is the toll it's taking on them is causing them to have depression. Amazon's unethical one-day delivery system has made the lives of its workers significantly worse. Due to the pandemic and current affairs, Amazon has made it so their drivers are almost always on the road. There is very little time to breathe, and this has caused many workers great levels of depression, anxiety, and mental exhaustion. The physical toll is one thing, but the mental toll is a result of the physical exhaustion as well, and the stress associated with carrying out a job that requires so much from just a single person. The physical strain could also lead the workers to feeling this depression because, when your body's aching and you have knee and back pain because of a job, especially at such a young age, a lot of the drivers are actually younger. They're in their maybe their 20s, their 30s. But the point is, when you're working a job like this and you're seeing the physical strain on you and you have back pain and knee pain, you're also, you're not going to feel as youthful. And that's one of the reasons why you would feel depressed. Um, it just seems that that's the corporate agenda of Amazon. So the other the other aspect I want to talk about is the anxiety, the sheer amount of anxiety that their workers feel. It's impossible to take breaks. The anxiety that Amazon workers feel is due to the immense stress and pressure put onto them by the company. Amazon will put their profits over their workers' mental health and have no plans for trying to make their lives any easier. Delivery drivers have reported that they have had an insane amount of deliveries under just one night, even if it's a holiday. Amazon demands workers to live up to their own standards, even if that leads to workers committing possibly even suicide or developing anxiety disorders because of it. A driver was quoted saying that there is no time to break. It is impossible to complete a route and take your breaks and be back to the station in time. This is absurd and complete disregard for their mental health. This has caused their workers great mental exhaustion. Now, Amazon hasn't directly said that, you know, that they want their workers to not go on break, but by giving them these expectations, these impossible choices, they make it so that it's mandatory to basically skip your break. They want them to complete these mass deliveries and still not be able to go on break. Because that's the only way that they'll be able to get them done. Because if they go on break, that's wasted time. That's time they could have used to finish their delivery. And so that impacts them. It impacts the other delivery trucks. It impacts their whole infrastructure. So it's basically this decision where they have no choice but to do it, and instead they're also harming themselves by doing this. So you know, it's just the repercussions for that are just it's unforgivable, and it's honestly very, very unethical. And when you consider all these factors, it's very easy to see that just how unethical Amazon's one-day delivery service is, just given how horribly it impacts the lives of its employees, whether they're at work or even if they're at home. It's more than just when they're at working when they're working, it's also when they're at home. So that's what I have to say about how Amazon impacts their workers' mental health due to their unethical practice of having one-day delivery.
So how does this impact employee performance and job satisfaction? Well, the stress put on workers to obtain the standard of next day delivery decreases job satisfaction and in turn causes high turnover rates. Demanding these unethical practices of next day delivery impacts employees' performance as these unrealistic standards of having millions of packages delivered per day could be physically impossible for these workers. This could cause other issues for the company as their promises to customers won't be met. Employees are expected to work at extraordinarily fast paces. In fact, one of Amazon's employees reported working shifts that forced him to deliver to 70 separate three-story buildings with more than 350 packages. He also stated, Amazon constantly reminds us that they put profits over their workers. Amazon's unrealistic expectations are causing employees to feel burned out, stressed, exhausted, and discouraged, causing these employees to grow unhappy and potentially resign. It is Amazon's ethical responsibility to provide these workers with the correct amount of breaks and to give them realistic delivery loads.